Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Bindman and today you are tuned in for a little bit of a kooky tutorial. As you can see, no, this video is not in black and white. I've just paled my skin down even more. And today we are doing a makeup look based on someone who is very important in making sure that Sherlock Holmes became well known on the radio, and her name is Edith Meiser, and this is her black and white photograph, and we are recreating this photograph with makeup, so stay tuned. As always, we are starting fresh face, so because this is kind of a different tutorial, nothing is changing. Even when I do kind of kooky makeup, I always like to prep my skin and prep my face as if I'm going to be doing regular makeup. So even though we're using all shadowy tones, we're still going to go about it the same way. I'm also just kind of thinking ahead to all the powder that is going to be going on my face, because I don't have like a professional stage makeup kit or anything like that. I have beauty makeup. I'm going to be using eyeshadows instead. Would this look be a lot easier with like cream sticks and cream products? Yes. The last time I did a look like this, that's exactly what I did. I used a shadow stick by Bobbi Brown. It was Caviar Ink, and it was amazing, and it did a great job of creating those deep dark shadows, and then I think I just shaded them in a little bit with a shadow, but that was a very long time ago and I do not have that product anymore. So part of the fun of doing these kind of kookier makeup tutorials is taking products that I already own, unless it's something really, really specific like a red lip that I have to go get because I don't have one, or something like that. And just being really creative. That's part of the fun of this. So here, let me show you my eyeshadows that we'll be using. There we go, on this side. So you can see it's a couple different whites, a couple different grays, and then carbon that we're going to go in with. But I am actually going to start the exact same way I would, because Edith Meiser's look does not, it's not really that complicated, right? It's a really nice highlighted face. She's wearing lashes. She's obviously got great skin. This is older makeup, so it's going to be heavier, which is great because we're using lots and lots of powders. But again, because I am going to be using powders, I want to make sure that my face has liquid on it to absorb the powder so they don't look super, super dry. If I was doing this black and white look for like Vogue or something, Dare to Dream, right? Something like that, then I would definitely use creams and not powders. But again, this is what I have and we are being creative. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the book talk this week. It was such an interesting read. Even when I was talking about it, part of me thought, gosh, it's so much information. Do I have enough to just like, chat without getting boring? And I got really excited as I was talking about it. So I hope you guys felt that energy and had fun watching me geek out about Sherlock Holmes. But someone that I didn't talk about is Edith Meiser, and she was quintessential in tipping Sherlock Holmes into radio and really just like resurrecting those stories for so many people. And so she should get a little thank you. Okay, going in with foundation. She is very highlighted. I mean, it looks like it's mostly because of the light, but she definitely has some contouring and highlighting going on. Something to keep in mind when you're looking at old photographs is that they actually used to burn and highlight post, which is still true today. It's just a different, it's just a click of a button now instead of the more complex things. But anyways, in beauty photos, oftentimes you will see that really highlight lit look through the center of the face. Again, very similar to today, but maybe a little bit more exaggerated. And so just kind of keep that in mind as you're doing your old school makeup. Okay, we're gonna grab a baby wipe. We're gonna take that off. And as I'm glancing down, I'm just looking at that picture of the lovely Edith Meiser. And we're just gonna get started. So let's see, I think we should do the eye look first and then go into the contouring. I think that would probably be the easiest. Now, again, I'm looking at a black and white photograph and we're gonna do kind of black and white makeup. So just to kind of get our feet wet, I'm gonna do my brows first. And I'm gonna mix Scene and Carbon. Edith Meiser was definitely a brunette, so her brows are quite dark. And the great thing about makeup back then is that it was really all about the angles and exaggerating things. Again, super similar to today's beauty makeup, but just slightly different. But it's good to experiment with historical makeup because you learn a lot and then you're able to kind of draw on that information in your daily makeup. Or maybe you learn a new technique that you're like, oh, that actually looks really good on me. Okay, so we have our dark brows. It looks like she's not really wearing that much eyeshadow. I'm gonna go in with vanilla first. Oh. On my 201, and I'm just gonna get that all over my lids. I'm not being super precise, I'm just trying to whiten my lids a little bit. And we're just going to take this makeup as far as we can go with the products that I have. We'll have to do a real beauty makeup with actual color sometime. And it looks like she just has a little bit of a crease color. She's definitely wearing lashes and maybe a little extra shadow on her lid, but her lid is very light, very bright. So we're gonna go in with a 217 on Cozy Gray, and we're gonna see if that's gonna be enough contrast. So I'm really gonna stick to my brow bone. Just defining that socket a little bit. Okay. Same thing on the other side with the 217. And we will definitely go back in with vanilla and make that pop. And just going in again and again until it is the level that we are looking for. Just really lightly. Great. Doesn't look like she really has any shadow underneath, but we'll put just a touch. Just a touch of that cozy gray. Okay, now we're going to go in with our shader brush, which is 203. Go back in with vanilla and really pop the whites. This is kind of similar to Audrey Hepburn's daytime look from How to Steal a Million. A little bit different. And then it does look like she has a black liner to hide her lash line. And just making sure, just kind of stepping back and making sure that that is popping the way I want it to. All right, let's take a little bit of a break from that. I'm going to go in with my pencil brush I'm going to tap a little bit into Carbon and a little bit into Scene. And I'm just going to do a really soft line along my lash lines. Just little dashes. If I wanted it to be harsher, I would use my angled brush. But I want it to be a little bit softer. No wings. We haven't gotten to the wings yet in makeup. So we're just defining the eye, and then we're adding lashes after mascara. Great. Okay, let's get our mascara on, and then let's get our lashes on. And we'll keep going with our white, gray, black makeup. Using Smokey Eye Mascara, as always. Still my fave. My only complaint, again, is that it just dries out really quickly. But as I've said before, I do need a dry mascara. These are the lashes that I used in a recent tutorial. I can't remember which one. I've been kind of doing a marathon of makeup tutorials because the holidays and the last few months just get so busy. I wanted to make sure I could do it. Okay, let's make sure we put this on the correct eye and get it as close as we can to the lash line. You always have a few moments to play before the glue fully sets. Something I like to do with lashes is put the tray facing the way that I'm going to be putting on the lashes so that I don't get the lashes mixed up. Because once you've done that, you don't want to do it again. It just is really silly. Okay, same thing. I'm going to tip my head back. I'm going to get that middle down. Whoops. And then I'm just Oh dear, I have sticky fingers. There we go. Lashes are on. Okay, now the fun part begins. Let's start turning our skin white. I think I'm going to go in with a precision brush. Actually, no. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to powder my face first with pale yellow. Set down some powder for my other powder to grab onto. Powder likes to be on top of powder. They talk nicely to each other. What we're going to do is we're going to scrape some of vanilla into my palette. And I'm going to try two other things. I'm going to try to just pick it up like that. And then if that doesn't work, then I'm going to use a technique that I know will work, which is to mix it in with Fix Plus. Ooh. Yeah, that's working. Did you guys see that kind of transformation? Okay. All right, we're just doing basic highlighting and contouring. She must not have had any blush on because her cheekbones are totally highlighted here, and then she's got a major contour right there. Her forehead isn't super highlighted. Again, I think that's just from the lighting that they used. And I'm just very quickly pressing that in. Oh yeah, and it definitely goes all the way. Whoop, I must have gotten another color. There we go. Really peeling down the skin. You could also just, again, take a lighter foundation. That would work too. You can see my yellow clip. Maybe you can't, but I can. All right. This whole area is light. And her nose is pretty light too, actually. We'll have to add in a little bit of sculpting. Can you guys start to see that color shift? How I'm becoming more and more monochromatic from my hand. It's kind of trippy. Last time I did a look like this and I posted it, again, this was a very long time ago. I had a makeup friend who was like, show me the before. She thought that I had really doctored it up. But I hadn't. Actually, I'm going to use a bigger brush. I'm going to use a big powder brush to grab all this vanilla and bring it down my neck because my face is definitely starting to pale out and it's going to look weird if my ears and my neck are not. So I kind of naturally have a little bit of a shadow right here, but we are going to darken that up first with Scene, and then we might add a little bit of Carbon as well. And it looks like she has a pretty thin contour, so I might actually go in with my, I'm going to start with my 201 and just pick up a little bit of Scene. And it kind of, we'll just kind of work it out. Okay, now we're going to go in with our big brush and really try to blend it out. The hard part about working with eyeshadows on the face, and then I'm going to switch to my, I should have just done this one in the first place, is that they're not really meant to do this. So that's why it would definitely be better if you had a cream that you could kind of manipulate a little bit more. But the picture that I'm going to be taking, I mean, it's kind of just to get that picture. Her head is tilted a little bit like this, so we're just kind of going for the picture. And we'll definitely need to go back in with Vanilla. Okay, doing the same thing on the other side. Okay, so placing it with the 201 and then blending it out with the Precision Powder Brush. And again, we can always go back in with Vanilla. We'll add more around the rest of the face too, and that will help as well. Okay. Yeah, she definitely had, actually, now that we're working with a bigger area, I'm just going to use my Precision Powder Brush. She had a big, nice shadow right here. Definitely a mix of lighting used by the photographer and also her makeup. Looks like she had amazing cheekbones. Okay. And then a little bit of a shading here. And coming down. And then those are pretty blended. There's just a nice gradient look on the forehead. And we're going to add in our shadow. Because we are recreating her beauty shot with makeup. I'm going to have my clip. Oh boy. Alright. Let's do the lips and then we'll go ahead and polish. And we're definitely going to use Carbon and Scene for the lips. So I'm going to scrape off some Carbon. Make sure you have clean brushes too, because you get a little bit of a natural color on there and it ruins just the whole thing. I'm going to go in with my smudge brush. We're going to go dark first. And she's got a nice ombre lip, so actually I'm going to use my mirror. And okay. Alright, I'm going to clean off my brush. And we're going to go in with a little bit. Actually, we're just going to go in with vanilla and see how we do. She has a nice highlight on her lip. Okay, now we're going to go back in with our pencil brush. I'm going to quickly clean that off. We're going to get a little bit more of the detail around the eyes. Just adding in a little bit of a shadow on the nose. Let's see, I'm going to do Scene. I'm going to mix a little bit of Scene and a little bit of vanilla to get her shadow. So she has a little bit of a shadow on her nose. In the photograph. And then we'll use a 217 to just kind of soften that a little bit. Softening again. And we're just going to amp up a couple other shadows. So she has a little bit of a shadow here by her eye. So just kind of going back into Scene. Scene is such a great purple black. And she has a little shadow from her lash too. Okay. I'm feeling like I went just slightly too dark on the lips, so I'm going to go in with my 217, just lightly go over Carbon. Try to lift some of that. Okay, last thing we're going to do is just go back in with the vanilla and really emphasize all that highlight. Oh, I'm definitely going to need a new vanilla after this tutorial, and that's okay. So just cleaning off my precision powder, drying it down very quickly. It's nice because it's synthetic. All right. And that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this kind of kooky tutorial about how to do black and white makeup, especially with powders, and just kind of being creative with things that you already have when you want to recreate a black and white photograph. So, if you learned something, if you had fun, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, beauty videos every Friday, and sometimes I do book talks. I am in many places on social media, so check out all the links below, and I will see you very soon. Bye!